when they first saw it. Like, because it's the normal thing to think. Even an unbiased, like, emotionless, doesn't care, isn't going for humor or anything machine fucking thought that. Like, fuck. Anyways, that's my rant for today. How was your day?
I like it.
Isn't that funny though? When you think about it, that is raw, unadulterated data.
It is funny.
That's why it's fucking funny. It's the funniest thing I think I've ever heard.
Can I tell you something else that was funny?
Okay, it's hot in here and like all kinds of things.
Yeah, as soon as I want to talk.
Go. Where is this heat coming from?
The heat is on. I was cold. I was freezing. I had the heat on. You don't know that I am very...
Cold.
Yeah. I always have the heat on when you get in the car.
I know. I want to go in there. Science Center. That's where you build the arch. Out of the willows. Jane, just drive.
I know.
You want to go there with me on a fun day? How about a Sunday fun day? We'll go to the Science Center. Maybe see something at the Omnimax. They have that theater there. You know, they have those now at regular theaters, but back in the day, aren't you getting off here?
Yeah. I thought I was going to Walmart. I'll go to Walmart.
Oh, that's right.
Just take you home.
Yeah, I have a tiny bit of hairdo, enough for like one day maybe at home, like with my old container. My nice new one is in there. It's like full. That's why I'm really pissed. And I didn't even use that mouthwash yet.
Could you think of it as, hey, you just gave somebody some stuff that they needed?
I don't owe them anything.
You know, it didn't say you owe them anything.
They owe me for harassing me.
You don't know.
I'll be like, look, I'll be like,
you don't know who took it, and you didn't even buy.
Obviously one of the cooks or dishwashers.
I didn't take. I did.
Spit it out.
You don't know who took it, and you probably got it with Joe's money, so you don't owe them anything. But karma might. I'm just saying it's another way to look at it, to kind of relieve yourself of the anger and that stress, like, and that hatred. Am I wrong?
No one should ever relieve the hatred of niggers until they're all gone.
And not just them, dude. Stupid white people, just all stupid people.
I agree. Add that with you, I will agree.
Which, for niggers, it's like 99% of them.
Stupid with a capital S.
Look, for them, like, you know, maybe
You're so stupid.
1 to
Everybody
3% could be allowed to have a nice population somewhere. With Asians, like, good 30% of them could be allowed to live. Whites, 20% maybe. Okay?
Yeah, so you're Thanos, basically.
What?
You're Thanos.
No, it's the law of the universe, Jane.
I know that.
No, we've decided to break it by manipulating chemistry and all kinds of things to, like, let everyone live and just go about unrestricted breeding. That is so inappropriate on a universal scale that it's not even funny.
What's inappropriate on a universal scale is the chemicals that are making people, that are being sold, that are making people rich, that give people cancer and give.
No.
Not that we've allowed
That's
people to live.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I know it's not what you're talking about. It's what I'm talking about.
Everyone thinks that, and it's the wrong way to think.
Everyone thinks what? What did
Chemicals that make people, like, less healthy and blah, 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 blah. That's actually good, okay? Because if your body, if 95 out of 100 people, like, live a shorter life for that or less likely to reproduce because of that, that's actually good, because then the population that moves on 100 generations later is now, like, chemical resistant to toxins and shit. That's good. That's a type of selection. What I'm talking about is the chemicals that help people and make them live longer and fight diseases that would have killed them before they reproduced, and now they're reproducing and having kids who have those same defects, like diabetes. You have families that just keep reproducing, because diabetes doesn't kill you before age 20, it kills you in your 60s, so you've already reproduced, and now that entire generation of your bloodline has diabetes. That's wrong. You know, diabetes can make your feet fucking have to be amputated. Would it be wrong if you went up to somebody and cut their feet off with a fucking axe? Yeah. So reproducing when you know you have those genetic defects is fucking wrong.
Yeah,
taking a medicine.
You said that giving people health care that are stupid is wrong. And you also
from the standpoint of nature, which nobody has any respect for. Nature should be the ultimate authority.
Amen.
Okay, I know a lot of this doesn't sound good.
No,
or
I'm not.
humane, but humane is kind of a conundrum because what we consider humane isn't very humane from nature's standpoint. A lion ripping the gazelle's throat out is humane from nature's standpoint.
Right, but
The bullshit set of rules
walruses
of-
jumping off of a.
Okay, that's not because of nature. I mean, can
I
that
know.
situation happen in a completely natural world that hasn't been fucked with by a sentient race like us?
No.
Yeah, that can happen, but it's not going to just happen all the time to like 80% of the population.
Exactly.
It would be like some random shit like
I just watched 100 walruses jump off a cliff in one day.
a lot of animals fell off 2-mile-high ice sheets,
I'm not.
before humans were doing anything. But it wasn't like...
Why are you arguing with me?
I'm saying
Everything I say.
there's a big difference between the massive crimes we're committing just by existing now because of all the things that we think are okay. There's a massive difference between that and things that, from nature's perspective, there's nothing wrong with it. Killing is not wrong. It happens every day. It's happening in that yard right now on a tiny little level, insects and shit like that. It's happening in woods 30 miles that way, Some deer's getting ripped to shreds by a little pack of coyotes. There's nothing wrong with killing if you're going to eat what you kill. That's like the
Fair.
Jungle Book, Law of the Jungle. You're not supposed to kill for fun. Stuff like that.
What?
But
Do you hear that?
we just think we could change all the rules and shh. Listen to this. Listen to this idea. So humans have this idea that killing is so wrong, right? But every time we go out of our way to like keep people safe and like save them and like make our survival rate like higher and higher and higher, we are killing by doing that. We're killing the earth, and everything we do to the earth we're doing to ourselves. Maybe not right now, but we're doing it to us in 100 years. Every person you save, you're murdering millions. 100 years from now, that's what you're doing, because that person in this time period
So killing in this
consumes
time period.
so much. They consume enough to feed 10 people 100
So
years from
killing
now.
in
when
this
it-
time period is different. It's not wrong.
No, keeping humans alive right now is the same as murder, because
What if we all
you're
just left?
you're keeping alive.
What if we all just left?
You're keeping people alive to keep consuming at a rate that no other group of animals or people or anything has consumed at that rate ever in the history of anything that we're aware of. So what you're doing is you're stealing from everyone else on this planet now and in the future just by allowing people to exist.
So everybody should just drink some.
Something
drink
makes them
it
go
good
sterile?
night.
Yeah.
No, you said being alive. You said existing is the problem, not reproducing. And so I'm asking you if we should all have an Olina shot.
No, there's nothing wrong with being alive or existing.
You just,
If you have like
Purpose?
if you have an appropriate worldview, which like 1% of us do. And what's fucked up is the people who have an appropriate worldview and won't reproduce
what is an
are
appropriate-
the only ones who should be doing so. The most brilliant minds, the people who achieve the most and contribute the most to furthering our entire species, those are the ones who don't want to reproduce because they think it's inappropriate, because they're smart enough to understand that it is. The only ones reproducing are the ones who have no business doing so. They're the ones who wouldn't have survived to their teenage years in a natural environment. It's really fucked up. Backwards.
What do you think about school shootings? Why
Dude.
do you think school shooters
I
do
don't
it?
care.
Why do you think they
I
do it?
don't care about that, Jane. When you allow the situation that we're in, this modern civilization, this fucking...
You don't care about that.
Listen, that's a product of what we've done.
I
Of what
agree.
we've
I
created.
know.
So it doesn't matter.
It-
What matters is what we're affecting that's permanent to the world. People are the least valuable
Climate
thing.
change.
Look.
What you're talking about? Yes.
Look,
Yes.
no. Hold on. A human being's life is the least valuable commodity on this planet. It is literally so worthless
wait.
because it is so abundant.
Wait.
Abundance takes away from value.
Yeah.
Rarity, scarcity makes something more valuable. Humans are so abundant that they don't have any intrinsic value because there's billions of them.
So
The only-
cells have no value.
That's not what I'm talking about. Cells, unless you're talking about a unicellular organism, cells, we have quadrillions of cells.
Okay, why don't you care
That's
about school
completely
shootings?
different.
Why don't you care about school shootings?
Because those are a superficial distraction from real problems. When you solve a root problem, say overpopulation, do you have any idea how rare a school shooting would be if, say, there were 500 million people in the entire world?
What is the so then I think, what is the problem?
Do you have any idea how rare they'd be?
Well,
They'd be
what
once
is the
a
problem
century.
with there being so many of us? The problem, why people are unhappy, is because
Because
we're all fighting over food.
Because
we're all
no,
fighting
it's
over
not
money.
that. Listen,
Why do you have to say no and listen to everything I say? I'm trying to have a discussion with you and agree with you.
those are great ideas, but I want to find an idea that any ideas like you are having that are good ideas, which are branches of a massive endless tree. I want to find an idea that can branch out into any of those ideas that you come up with and actually be a cause of those, and a way to say, hey, I only want to solve one fucking problem, and if I solve this problem, all these other issues you're bringing up would be taken care of. And that issue is that people won't admit it, but they do know it on some level. Even idiots know it on some level, that they will never matter. They will never have like some indispensable role in the world.
Okay,
Because-
if
we're a
individuals
global
don't
culture.
matter, if individuals don't matter, if Beth, our neighbor Beth, doesn't matter, then why did I pull over when we had somewhere to be today?
Not because not everyone is like that, but it,
Not everyone is like me.
correct. Just hold on. Humans are very arrogant.
And they
Humans want
shouldn't.
to be the most important, most valuable thing ever. And that's what they allow themselves to think. But somewhere down, deep down, unconsciously, they know that they'll never amount to anything significant. They'll never be a fucking...
I don't know that.
They'll never be a Machiavellian. Everyone knows that.
I don't know that.
Everyone knows that on some level. No, you don't consciously know that. And when you say I, that's your consciousness. That's your conscious brain. When you say I, your superego isn't talking to me. It can't. It doesn't speak in the first person. It's onion layers down, okay? But on some level, people have this feeling, and they don't understand what it is. They don't put the words to it. But the feeling is that they don't matter, but they want to matter. And that's the giant conundrum, because the one thing you have to change for everyone to actually matter and be really unique and really important and crucial in the role in their little bitty ecosystem, these little, cities we have all over the world, even though you live in a city of 30, look, you live in a city of 30,000 people and still be really unique and really important, really essential in your community.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a city of 30,000. Not the 20th largest city in the country having 3 to 4 million like St. Louis. You can't matter. Like, what I'm saying is humans refuse to admit that they don't matter. They themselves individually. Okay, consciously they'll never allow that thought to transpire in their brain. But on some deep down unconscious level, they know they don't matter and they won't matter. Okay, and like that's the frustrating thing. And the only way to solve that and change the entire zeitgeist. The zeitgeist means like the thought of today, like the collective consciousness of today.
Okay.
The mood that the entire culture shares. We have a global culture now. Everyone's learning English.
What is it?
If we were to go down from 7 billion down to say 500 million, say 13 out of 14 people just didn't reproduce, and 300 years later, boom, there we are. Everyone would matter. The human life would have so much value. It would be so unique. People would have all these like crucial roles where they were irreplaceable in their job, whatever. And that would feel good. Life would feel good. Everyone. It wouldn't matter if you were the fucking mailman. Because everyone else in the town had a job, and no one else could do that job because there wasn't anyone else. Everyone else had to do theirs. All those jobs were just as important. Like, there's so many people. It's the only thing that matters. No one will go shoot up a school if they felt super essential and like they mattered. And every time they went into their work, they could just feel everyone like wanting them to be there. Like, oh my God, thank God he's here because we couldn't go on without him. Mm-hmm. And they know that they feel the same way about everyone else there because everyone's like that. No one can be essential. Human life can't have value when there's an endless supply of it. Literally insect levels of population. Like, it can't possibly have value. Like, try trading grass for gold, pound for pound. No one's gonna fucking make that trade. That's insane. Because grass is not as rare as gold. That's just how it is. It's worthless. People just chop it up and get it out of the way. It's a thing that's in the way.
Well, I
It's
can't
a
stop
thing
thinking.
that's in the way. That's
I
what
can't
people
stop thinking
chop
about.
it up.
I can't stop thinking about.
Dirt's like the most worthless thing ever because
Can I say anything?
The entire planet's covered it. Like, you know, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
There is only one thing that we could change that would literally solve every single
I
problem
know.
on
We
the
talked
planet.
about this in Ferguson for hours.
there is no other-
Did you really just ask me if I understand? Because I have agreed with you and talked about this with you for hours on end back
Okay,
in Ferguson.
I
Is
just-
that right? Do you remember now?
Look,
Do you remember now?
yes, I do. Like,
We have talked about, and I have agreed with you about sterilization and about stopping overpopulation. I have.
What frustrates the hell out of me is when someone brings up a problem like global warming. They talk about like reducing carbon emissions. I'm like, dude, if everyone reduced, you know, by blah blah blah, you know, you're talking about making like a 1% difference. Like
Dude,
100
I gotta
years from
go.
now. Okay, you know what will make a 99% difference? Getting rid of 99% of the population. That would instantly solve the problem. Like, I don't understand how no one is onto that. Like, there should be popular politicians telling people like, telling people that like, look, it's a horribly sad story that you right there, person number 7,603,000. It's a terrifyingly sad story that you don't feel like the most important person in the world, and the person next to you doesn't feel the same way. But you should, and you could, if there weren't fucking going on 8 billion people. That is the worst possible thing that could ever happen to any species.
There are a lot of other ways that people can feel good too.
Oh my God, Jane, do you have any idea how shitty people's lives were 150 years ago? But guess what? Everyone in every town mattered. Okay, now people
What if we?
can't find
Then let's leave.
That is not. People can't.
Then let's leave. Then we wouldn't be all in one place, and we would matter.
I'm not going to talk to somebody who just with that statement right there. You didn't understand anything I just said. Leave. What, do you want to go to Venus?
You literally think that I'm.
People were happier when, as of age 30.
There wasn't as many of us in one place, right? There wasn't so much of us.
What do you
There
mean?
weren't-
Stop saying in one place.
Why?
There-
Why are you
There's
telling me
only one planet. It is the place. There's no other place to go, Jane. We've swarmed and covered the planet. What do you mean, leave? Leave and wait 10 years until the city that's 400 miles away has expanded all the way to you in the middle of the woods in northern Canada? And now they're literally...
I don't mean go to another city. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying go to the woods in, like, northern Canada.
No, I don't.
Okay, wait 30 years and the cities will grow towards you and there won't be any woods. That's not a solution. That's a save the rest of your life enjoyment and fuck the problem. And see what you're experiencing right now is what all 7.5 other billion people are experiencing. They won't address it because it takes away from any sliver of meaning they've been able to hold on to about their own life. By saying anything similar to what, or by understanding anything what I'm saying, that we're all fucking worthless. No one will allow that to be true. That's what I'm saying. You won't allow it. You won't consciously allow that to be true. You think you can move away and still have your own self-purpose and meaning. No, you can't. There are 100 million people just like you. That's how bad it is. You could be the most unique person ever. And you're not unique anymore because there's so many people. It's literally like the concept of infinite universes. If there are infinite universes, then that means there's an infinite number exactly like this one, where there's a redhead dude that looks exactly like me that's had all the exact same experiences as me. If there's an infinite number of universes, then every single possible arrangement of an infinite number of atoms and molecules, every arrangement has happened an infinite number of times. Which means the exact life story of me has happened an infinite number of times in an infinite multiverse. Well, that's what it's like to be a human on Earth right now. You can't experience anything new or unique. That is the most horrifying purgatory that our species could possibly exist in. And they just keep cranking out babies and making it even worse for the next generation.
Look how big my pupils are.
There might be 10,000 people just like me, but next generation, there's going to be 100,000 people just like everyone in that generation. And in the next generation after that, there's going to be 1 million people exactly like you. You can't possibly have a new experience or a unique experience in a world of 7 billion people, and no one wants to admit that. Every single global issue that we have, economics, poverty, whatever. Disease.
Cancer.
Yeah, genetic deficiencies are just getting worse at an exponential rate because there's no selection process.
I'm almost on a half a tank.
Anyways, where do I go in? Fuck, I don't even have any food. I have sandwiches, like 2. That's all I got. I need to go to Walmart with you.
Okay, well let me get going so that I can get up earlier and
We'll go tomorrow. Hey, that 0.6 or whatever you took, 0.67 or whatever you took with you, is that all for you?
I don't know. No. I was hoping to get, like 0.4 out of that.
Okay. Well, save me a quarter gram for like,
Whatever.
30 hours from now when I'm like down to it,
Or just set it aside and
Yeah, for when we run out, and thank you. And I have like $80, so that's gonna save my life before work on like Saturday or something.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I need you to be good this weekend.
I know. I'm worried about. You know what? I don't know if I'm off Sunday. That would be
I really gotta
really
go.
weird if I was off Sunday, because
really
that's
gotta
Mother's
go.
Day.
I really gotta go.
If I'm off Mother's Day, that would be weird. I need to schedule a time with my mom to get my stuff from there.